Huge Mudryk and Tielemans to Arsenal update. Guys, welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? It's a Monday. As you know very well, it's really a very huge Monday that transfers are really taking place, known officially, but the news is being broken by people like FABRIZIO Romano and different football transfer experts all over the world. I told you that Mudryk is really one of those players that is really going to be a lot in the news, and obviously he is so much in the news because he is wanted by Arsenal, and Arsenal have made him their priority #1 target in the summer. And obviously Tielemans is back in the news, and obviously guess who's talking about him? It's all about FABRIZIO Romano, not so? And we are talking about Christian Pulisic being linked to Arsenal and very many other sources in there for you. So smash the like button, comment and share, and if you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Remember, we are left with just 34 subscribers to hit 8,000 subscribers. Now you can really be part of history as we hit 8,000 subscribers on this channel, and you know where we've come in from. It has been a long journey, and obviously it wouldn't have been the journey it is if you guys were subscribing to this channel. So guys, thank you very much for subscribing. I love you and I love you die, and that's why I pray to the Lord that may him bless all the subscribers and viewers of Rokani Media Football. Now let's get into this huge story of Mudryk, and it's being led by FABRIZIO Romano updates, almost full updates as far as Arsenal business is concerned in the January transfer window. Now FABRIZIO Romano on Arsenal and the January transfer window, he's telling us that I think it's an even big opportunity for them to show that they want to sign again the right players at the right moment. I think they were really smart in the summer. So talking of the summer and how smart they were, Arsenal went in, they first signed a player who goes by the names of Marquinhos. They brought in Matt Turner. After Matt Turner, they brought in Fabio Vieira. Shockingly, because that was a shocking transfer, no one expected it, but FABRIZIO Romano broke the news that Arsenal have agreed personal terms, and obviously the medical is going to be taken at London Colney, and obviously the player is going to be unveiled as soon as possible, and obviously that really happened. The fourth player was Gabriel Jesus, and after Gabriel Jesus they went ahead to sign a player who goes by the names of Zinchenko, and that summed the season of Arsenal. Towards the end of the transfer window, they wanted to sign Douglas Luiz. Aston Villa said, no, we are not going to give you this player. However much is left with 1 year, we are not giving you this player. And obviously Steven Gerrard, before being sacked from Aston Villa, convinced the player to go on and really extend his contract to more 4 years at Aston Villa. The other player that Arsenal was chasing at the deadline day was a player who goes by the names of Danilo, but Parmenas told them that we can only sell him in January because we believe he has a lot of things to do in the Champions League of South America, where their team was highly competing to go on and win that trophy, and I believe they went ahead to win that trophy. Not so that is a man who goes by the names of FABRIZIO Romano, and saying that Arsenal really had a very good summer. Obviously, what shows that they had a very good summer is the results they are really having onto the table right now. They are topping the Premier League table, 5 points ahead of Man City, showing us that they've really gone ahead to do some beautiful job and work in there at a club which goes by names of Arsenal. So he's telling us that Arsenal are going to go on and really do some smart business in January. After that, FABRIZIO Romano told us that they wanted, for example, Rafinha as a winger, but then they were not able to compete with Barcelona because the player wanted to join Barcelona. So they didn't waste money on players they were not trusting. Obviously, that is a confirmation to lots of things, because the fact is Arsenal had money. They had money because they had close to 250 million pounds to spend, but they only spent 121 million pounds, meaning that they still have money. They had 65 million pounds to spend on Rafinha, but when they failed to get an equivalent of Rafinha, obviously things never went in as desired for a team which goes by names of Arsenal. They tried to go in for Pedro Neto. They wanted to buy Pedro Neto at 34 million pounds or 35. Wolves called in for 50 million pounds. And Arsenal saying, no, we cannot really sign that player. We are going to wait for the right player. It shows you the right mentality, and Arsenal working on plan. So Arsenal is working on plan. They are not coming out to do anything that is not on their plan. They don't want to waste their money anyhowly like Manchester United. You see, look at Arsenal, the budget they're having. They're really making wonders, and they're really looking on top of the Premier League table, and everyone is looking at them as contenders. But United, ever since Alex Ferguson left, no season have they been seen as contenders of the Premier League, and they've never gone ahead to put out a race of the Premier League table in a season. Do you know why? They've been spending poorly, and for the fact of life, United is the club that has spent most money ever since the Glazers, ever since, I think, for the last 10 years. They've spent close to £1 billion, but they've been spending that money badly. And this is what Fabrizio is coming out to hail about Arsenal, that they don't want to spend their money badly. They want to come out and really spend their money on the right players. And obviously, that has kept Arsenal into a very perfect shape to go out and compete with the likes of Man City that have been spending lots of money, because Arsenal has not spent a lot of money like Man City. Man City has been spending a lot of money, but Arsenal has really found itself a position of comfort because of how they are spending wise. And how have they achieved that? It's because they've not been spending money anyhowly. They spend money when it's the right time for them to spend. Fabrizio has confirmed to you that the £65 million they had to go on and really spend on Rafinha was there, but they said we are not going to go out and spend it anyhowly. They still have it, and they are still looking for the right player to go in and spend on it. Now, then Fabrizio told us that Arsenal were waiting and waiting, as they did with Dusan Vlahovic last January. They wanted Vlahovic, but he decided to join Juventus. They decided to wait and sign Gabriel Jesus. So the strategy will be the same in January transfer window. So this is an indicator to all Arsenal fans all over the world that if there is a player that Arsenal is wanting and that player won't be gotten in January, they'll wait for the right player to appear. If the right player is not found, then they will wait in the summer to go on and really find in the right player. For Gabriel Jesus and Vlahovic, they really got it right. Very many Arsenal fans came out and really hit back at Mikel Arteta and Edu for not getting a replacement in the January transfer window when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was sent all thrown out of the club. And even Arsenal went ahead to add on £7 million to it that Aubameyang goes to Barcelona. Reason being, Barcelona had financial constrictions that couldn't enable the registration of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And if at all he was not registered, that means he was going to return back to Arsenal and really earn £375,000 a week. So what Arsenal did was to add on that amount of money, and that amount of money helped Barcelona to register Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and he left Arsenal. So Gabriel Jesus came on later, but obviously Arsenal fans now know the truth that what Mikel Arteta and Edu did was right, because Vlahovic never came in January, and obviously Gabriel Jesus came in the summer. Guess what is happening at Arsenal? He's really doing great, and Arsenal is on top of the Premier League table to an extent that Man City were put in the situation of going out to make even thorough investigations on why Pep Guardiola sold 2 players to Arsenal, and yet Arsenal is now topping the Premier League table. And Man City is saying to its board that there is no way they are going to sell their cream de la cream players to Arsenal anymore. So that's how Arsenal has gone ahead to do its business in a very wise way. So the January transfer window recap has been given to us by Fabrizio Romano, and I think Arsenal fans are now 100% know. Now, those who really want to know about Mykhailo Mudryk, Fabrizio Romano has the following to say about Mykhailo Mudryk. He told us that on Mykhailo Mudryk, I expect the price will be higher than the 40 to 50 million euros reported in some outlets. It's quite fluid, though he was valued at closer to 40 million euros in the summer. But his incredible form means it's changed and it can keep changing. I believe, as Fabrizio is saying, that it's going to be more than 40 and 50 million euros. I believe with 60 million euros, I believe Shakhtar Donetsk can be really convinced to get on this player and sell him off. And Arsenal have made the player the priority. We've already done that story. So I believe that is not going to be much money for Arsenal, because every time Mikel Arteta has gone ahead to spend big on a player, he has really gotten the best out of that player. So he doesn't put money where money doesn't really get or bring back value to the club. Look, he went ahead and bought Ben White at £50 million. Last season, he played as a central defender, played very well with Gabriel Magalhaes. This season, the return of Saliba has forced him to go out and play as a right back, and is playing very well in the right back position, to an extent even Tomiyasu, who used to play there, is not into the position. The other player that was bought expensively is Gabriel Jesus, £45 million plus £5 million of add-ons. Obviously, that is really paying off very, very, very well. So, as things stand, when Mikel Arteta tries to go on and spend huge, just know the player is right. And for Mikhailo Mudryk, don't support Arsenal, but I know that is a very, very right player to spend on the money. Because if you don't spend the money on him, there is another team that's going to go out and spend money on him. Then, in the next 2-3 years, he might become the next big thing. And that has been the principle of Arsenal. Arsenal used to go on and really groom players from the academy. All else go out and sign in players that are going to be the next big thing. And obviously, the likes of Nasri, no one knew them. They came out and really became big players. Songo Bilong, you saw him. Vermaelen, which other player? Fabregas signed from the La Masia Academy of Barcelona. Perez, and very many other players. Thierry Henry, who was really from, is it Juventus? And he was not having a very fantastic season. They signed him and obviously turned him into another player. The best example is Nicolas Anelka. They bought him not even £1 million. But guess what? They sold him to Real Madrid at like £25 million. By then it was a lot of money. So that is the plan and blueprint of Arsenal, and I believe it's really going to go out and really pay out well for the Arsenal club. Now, we've been told again by FABRIZIO Romano on Mudryk and Tielemans that for Mudryk, there are 4 or 5 clubs keen on signing him, including Arsenal, of course. For Tielemans, it depends on conditions of free deal. Arsenal always had his name in the list, but talks are not concrete yet. Now, that really comes into that for Mikhailo Mudryk, there are other 4 clubs interested. Arsenal is really topping those clubs. But I believe even if those 4 are interested, one thing that's going to come up and be fronted as these 4 clubs are in chase of the signature of Mikhailo Mudryk is that the player has come out and said it verbally that he wants only and only Arsenal. So him coming out and saying that is a confirmation that even if other clubs coming in through, they're not going to get this player. They're not getting the player unless Arsenal pulls out, of which Arsenal are not pulling out. Arsenal are not pulling out. They've even made an offer to Shakhtar Donetsk. They want the player to come in at Arsenal and really do the needful to see to it that he propels them to the title. Mikhailo Mudryk coming in at Arsenal, I believe is going to hit the ground running, talented, good, his physicality is not doubted, and he's going to find his national team captain Zinchenko with him, which will be something to go on and really talk about and be attractive to this man to make him feel comfortable and make him feel at home. So, after that, he has talked about Tielemans. It depends on the conditions of free deal, meaning that Arsenal might want to get Tielemans on the free. So, if they want to get him on a free, then they need to wait until the summer. But will they have that patience? That is it. Because right now, the situation where they are competing for the Premier League trophy. If you want to go out and really compete with the likes of Man City, you need Tielemans, you need Mudryk, and one more other player, or Danilo. So, when you have 3 more players, you would have sent a signal to Man City that I'm not here to joke. I'm going to go in and really compete for the Premier League trophy. Something that would love to see another team that is not Liverpool or Man City win. To me as a Manchester United fan, because Man City wins, they really celebrate in the city of Man City. And they say that City has turned blue, yet it has been red for years. For Liverpool, the moment they win it, they are going to go out and really equal our record of having 20 league titles, meaning that If Arsenal wins, that's okay, because I know Arsenal really don't have many titles and it has been taken long without them winning. So let's wait and see how Tielemans. Let's wait and see when Tielemans is going to go on and join Arsenal, and obviously a man who goes by Mudryk, FABRIZIO Romano coming out and really giving us a huge Mudryk and Tielemans update to Arsenal in the January transfer window. Your reactions are welcome in the comment section below. I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be, and hit the subscription button. Hitting the subscription button, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day. More is yet to come. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord to watch you over. This is Rokani David on the Rokani Media Football. If you want to see me do United content only, the channel is United Matters channel. That's where you are going to find me. Thank you guys. I'm out for now. Cameroon is taking on Serbia in the next minutes, and obviously by the time I return, it will be a game done and I'll be giving you the real results. But the breaking story in the Cameroon side is simple. Let me just chip it in, because you guys need to know what is happening in the camp of Cameroon. Andre Onana, the goalkeeper of Cameroon, you know he's a goalkeeper of Inter Milan. He was at Ajax when Erik ten Hag was still there. There is a breaking story coming in through that Andre Onana has been removed from Cameroon's squad ahead of the game versus Serbia. This due to disciplinary reasons. So Onana has some cases to answer, and obviously has been thrown out of the camp due to disciplinary reasons. And let me see who is the goalkeeper that Cameroon have gone ahead to bring. Is the Passy is the one that they've brought to replace Andre Onana. That is D. Passy, and D. Passy is 29 years of age. Obviously, he plays for Saudi Pro League 1. Obviously, that is Saudi Pro in Saudi Arabia. That's where he plays from, and obviously Andre Onana has been kicked out. And I believe it's really a very big blow for a team like Cameroon, because Andre Onana is a proven player. When you're going to face a team like Serbia, you need a player like him, but obviously it has not gone the right way. And obviously what we want most in the dressing room is the togetherness and not the divisions. So I believe when it concerns discipline, I respect what Rigobert Song, the national team coach of Cameroon, has taken. The decision he has taken, he's really right. The same applies to the president of the Football Association of Cameroon, Samuel Eto'o. I think it's right, and obviously it's going to do them right. Let's wait and see what the result is going to be, but I know if at all it doesn't go well, they are going to say that if at all they kept the goalkeeper. But how can you keep a player who is indisciplined? It's better to throw him under the bus. Arsenal are where they are because they threw Mesut Ozil and Aubameyang under the bus. United have done it, Ronaldo, and obviously they are going to be getting the results of what they've done. I sign out for now. See you later. I'm out.